I.A.G Farms, all about God. Good morning to everybody. It's a special day for us. And what we're gonna do is, before we get started with the thing that we really want to get to, we're gonna walk y'all around and show y'all this completed fence. Yeah, I said it, that's right, the completed fence. There's a couple things that we still need to do as far as the property line fencing that we did. But all of this 2 or 3 acres, 2.5 acres, something like that, whatever it is, that we fenced off for the animals, which was our primary purpose of doing all this fencing, it's complete. And we have a couple things to do here and there, but it's ready for the animals to get on it. And what we want to do this morning is we want to walk y'all around and just kind of give y'all an update and show y'all, what the fencing looks like. Show y'all some of the things that we've done over the last couple of days, and then we'll just get down there, grab a bucket, and lead our sheep into green pastures.
That's right.
Yeah, beside the still waters. Yeah. So let's turn y'all around and show y'all what the fencing is looking like this morning. All right, y'all. So let's go down here and just start at the beginning and just walk all the way down and show y'all the completed project. Y'all have seen this spot down here so many times, but we're just gonna start at the beginning and walk all the way down and just take our time and show y'all what the Lord has done over this last year and a half. We've literally been working on this fence over a year. And we've been off and on with it. And while we were living in the city, we were kind of coming back and forth, so we didn't have the, we weren't down here every day to work on it like we did now and be able to complete it. So a lot of the projects that you see around the farm that are half complete is because, we're living in the city and we just moved down here. We've been down here on the farm for about 6 months, and it's amazing what the Lord has been able to do in that 6 months. But yeah, this is where the fencing starts. Our property line actually goes a little bit further than that. Get in? No. But this is where the fencing starts here, and this is kind of the barn section, and it comes on down, and as you see, it comes to the first hose spigot farm gate section, and at every farm gate we have a hose spigot. and the reason for that is we don't want to have to haul water anymore. We want to have it to where animals that are in this section can be watered in this section, and we don't have to run a hose from the other section. And so we have a hose spigot at each farm gate, and we also have shutoff valves, but I hadn't put this one in yet. We were gonna put a shutoff valve there, and I'll show you the ones at the other farm gates. But this would be the section where the barn will be at, where we have a garden. We had big plans for this barn in the future. Right now it's just kind of used as the section where we have the camper at and kind of storage. But eventually we might be milking cows in here. We may be brooding chickens in here. Just the sky's the limit for what the Lord wants to do here. Because just imagine during whatever month it is, instead of having to use heat lamps, we could use the wood stove to heat to warm the chickens. That would be nice. But let's keep on walking, y'all. And we're coming to our first cross fencing section. And we still have to do all of our cross fencing. We're thinking about actually doing the cross fencing with electric fence instead of solid fence. But this section here is fenced off from the rest of the paddocks. And we're thinking about having maybe like from 3 to 5 paddocks where we rotate in here. But you can see this paddock here is kind of wooded, and it's silver pasture. And the goal is to put the pigs in here, as you'll see down there what they've done. But we're gonna put the pigs in here, and then after they're done doing what they do, doing what pigs do, we'll come in and clear out some of the smaller brush and things like that. And you can jump in at any time and talk. Like I said, you're not gonna be talking over me.
Sure. So you were saying about 3 to 4 paddocks. Yeah, so we have a farm gate kind of position at each point where we think we have a farm gate position at each point where we think we'll have a paddock. So that's why you'll see the farm gates in each section. And then you'll see the area he was talking about, silver pasture, and how pigs have cleared. We actually have the pigs in the area now where they've cleared it out. So the goal also is to move them as well eventually. And then we'll be able to clear out that little section where they are now.
That's good. So we're coming up to this next farm gated section with the next hose spigot. And I actually show you on this hose spigot. I'll let Megan go down there and open up the box. We have the shutoff valve on this hose spigot here, and also on the one down by the pond. But show them kind of what our hose spigot looks like and talk them through it.
So this here is the spigot. It's on the other side of the fencing. And here's the shutoff. And these, I think, are really going to come in handy, because if there's ever something that's wrong with this particular spigot, like say an animal just comes and knocks it loose and it's squirting water everywhere, guess what? We can just come right here and shut it off.
Turn, go ahead and turn it so you can see it turn.
All right.
How simple it is.
So that is in the on position, and this is the off position.
That's right.
And that's it.
So if by chance the animals do come, and we're gonna have these kind of secured right in the corner, and I'm gonna put, what do they call it, the insulation around it and things, so to try to keep it from freezing. And step one for that, the reason that we have that shut off there is if the animals come in and break this, just so happen one of the animals get their horn caught around it and break it off, it won't be a total it won't be, well, I'm thinking about the word.
So it won't be a total loss or total
total
chaos,
loss, right.
Because we can shut this off, because our water from this line goes all the way, it goes to Emma, and it goes all the way down to all the spigots. So if there's a problem with one spigot and we shut off the water at the main shut off, guess what? Emma doesn't have water, and none of the other pastures have water either. But what these shutoffs do is allow us to shut it off right at this point. So Emma still has water if something goes wrong with the pasture watering system.
So we have 1 inch water line as our main line going all the way down to the front to the actual, county water meter base that they set. And so that's 1 inch line going all the way down to the end down there. And then off of that 1 inch line, we have chutes that come, and it adapts down to a 3/4 inch line that goes to each hose spigot. And so it's 3/4 inch line going here and 3/4 inch line going there. And then we have trenched underground from that main 1 inch line, we have another 1 inch line going to Emma. And so it keeps Emma with good water pressure, and then it also keeps these spigots with good water pressure.
And so Emma's shut off is a little further down.
So
if something happens with Emma, we gotta
run down. We meant to actually put it right here at the beginning of this gravel spot somewhere in here. We probably could have put it somewhere around the meter base over there, the power meter base, but we forgot. Yeah,
it's more fun if we are running downhill, so that's Tim will probably be the one running down
and shut it off. Me or one of the boys, but we'll probably add in one down here eventually, because like I said, I'm coming back and adding these in as well. But you see the next section, so pretty much the paddocks eventually are gonna look like this. At this pole here, we're gonna cut it off here, and then the next paddock will start here, and then it will probably cut off about down here where these H braces are, and that'll be another paddock. Like I said, I'm gonna get in here. As you can see, the pigs have did a good job of clearing down all the underbrush, and so we can kind of see which trees are big and which trees are small. And I'm gonna come in here with the tractor with that piranha too, and rip up all these small little trees here and leave the big ones, so that the sun can come in and create a little bit of grass and a little bit of graze in there, and the animals can go in and get shade and things like that. But Yep. Pigs are doing that job.
Beautiful things that the pigs do when they are on pasture in a wooded area like that. They eat all the poison ivy. They literally, we saw them chewing on the vines and pulling the vines down off the tree. And so they really do a good job of kind of bringing the land back like under submission and making it to where it can be just a beautiful little wooded area. So.
That's right. All right, so now we're coming up on this other farm gate down here by the pond. And like I say, we'll probably have some type of cross fencing that goes from one of these poles on this H brace, probably this last one, and goes that way. That way we'll have this would make our third paddock here. And then we'll be moving on to our fourth paddock that will be in this section. And then we're actually getting to like our open pastures now. And we only have sheep right now, so they don't need a whole lot of grass and big paddocks. But once we get cows, we're not gonna have a whole lot of cows in these pastures here. But we have plans to fence off more of the property up here. So when we have cows, we have plenty of grass. But we're gonna try to do some rotational grazing in here, and we got plenty of good grass for them. But see the fencing, nice and tight. some sections of the fencing are tighter than others, but down here in this section, it's super tight. And what I learned is that some sections where it was a short stretch, I didn't use H braces, like down where those farm gates are. And the brace, once I put pressure on it, moved a little bit. But like this section here, there's an H brace here on this corner here. And then even though there's a small post there, without a small post, but it doesn't have an H brace, but there's H brace all the way down there. And so this fence, even though that pole might have moved a little bit, the H brace, I was able to tug it back again, and it stayed tight. Like, it's super tight. Like, you can't even, like, you know, get it to move that much. Let's walk on down here and show y'all this last hose spigot here. And this pasture, this paddock here, will probably end somewhere around maybe a little bit after this post here, and we have a cross fence going there. And so we're moving on to about, like I said, it's gonna be about three big paddocks, or 5, you know, like half a quarter acre paddock, something like that. Well, let me show y'all this down here at the creek. I did this because I was working on getting everything finished yesterday. I finished all the T-posts off by myself yesterday evening while Megan was cleaning up around the barn site down there. But it was a gap here. Let me see if y'all can see, because this is the fencing here. And I brought in a cattle panel because there was a big gap over the creek, and we didn't want the fence to go down, you know, with these small squares here, you know, because we didn't want the water and the leaves to get caught up and tear our fence down. And so I put this cattle panel there, and I'm hoping that the water go through there and the leaves and debris and stuff. And during the big heavy rain, you know, I might even come, because I just have it zip tied for now. I might even come and just, you know, break those zip ties loose and take that off, you know, when I know a big heavy rain is coming. And as y'all know, I like to come out in the rain anyway and observe the property. So that's how we ended up taking up that gap, so the smaller animals, the smaller sheep won't get through. And
great.
You like it?
I like that.
Good.
I really like that. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all was praying about what I could do to take up that gap, and that's what the Lord gave me. I cut the cattle panel. I don't know if you can see it or not because there's so much fencing, but I just kind of cut the pieces off on each side to let it be able to sink down in the middle, and then just zip tie the rest of the cattle panel up there. Yep. All right. This part of our water line is still kind of mucky, drying up, because it's been raining, and yes, the sun doesn't really get down here in this section, so it's still kind of wet. But everywhere else the water line is, it's kind of like solidified and dried up. As you can see, the fencing attached to all the T-posts. I've attached it on all those T-posts on the back. Like I said, I just went through yesterday and just took my time. I waited until it got cool late in the evening, and I just got out here and turned on some worship music and some podcasts and got it done.
We really need to do like a bike. The boys want a bike trail along the water line, and that would actually help to define this is where our water line is. And
yeah.
We just did a, you know, trail all the way down,
a little rocks,
a little bridge like y'all were talking about.
Yeah.
The boys want a bridge over the creek.
That's right. Yeah, because they can't ride their bike anymore, like comfortably on the driveway, because we had that big rock and it's not packed down yet. So they just ride their bikes on the side, you know, here pretty much on top of the water line, like Megan was saying. But they get to the creek and they can't get across. And we had a little board there for them, but you know, it kind of caved in, and they blame me because I pulled over it with the tractor.
They said next time when they do their bridge, they're gonna have a sign that says no tractors.
Yeah. But here's the last, because this is the shutoff that Megan was talking about for Emma. And that shuts off everything on the water line, because it sits a little bit before here. And so if you shut it off here, that shuts off every hose, spigot, Emma, and everything. And then there's another, you know, the actual water meter base is way up there. So yeah, that's the water shut off that she was talking about for Emma. And here is the water shut off. Let's see. For this spigot here. And so like I said, we're gonna have these spigots shut off, and we won't turn them on from the outside until we need them. And that'll give us access to have water down here in each pasture. And eventually we'll probably put some frost-free hydrants, but for right now, that's good enough. You know, we're in Mississippi, we don't have too many hard freezes. Anyway, but yeah, got the farm gates up down here. And let's just walk this line here and show y'all kind of where it ends. And then we'll get some animals out here, see what the sheep think of it. That's what really matters, right?
Oh yeah, I think
long as the sheep like it.
They're gonna love it. How can they not love it? It's like acres and acres of beautiful grass.
It's too much grass for them. Yeah.
Clover, like different types of clover. You know, I think they have white clover, red clover. They are gonna love it. I think so.
Yeah. And one thing that we do need to do, because down here under these farm gates is like not a lot of room where they can get under. And but some of the sheep are small, especially when the babies, like once they're being weaned off the mamas, they start like, you know, getting curious about the farm gates and the pastures with that the grass they can't get to. And so what I'm gonna do is, like I did on one of the other farm gates down there, I'm gonna take some of this fencing that I have left over here. You see I got a roll there, and I'm gonna put some of that over the front of the farm gate so that the little baby animals can't squeeze through. But we should be good for today because they have so much grass they shouldn't be thinking about getting out. But we'll see. And if they do get out, we can get them back in, because we bucket train all of our animals so that when they get out, we can get them back in. But yeah, they should be good. So let's walk over this way and just kind of show y'all this last little side here. And what we learned from, you know, watching videos and learning from other people is that you don't give your animals access to the pond, because they wreck the pond dam and get in there and boo-boo and, you know, urinate and all those things. So we stopped the fence line here before the pond, and then we pick up the fencing because we're gonna fence out this top hill here. There's another paddock. We're gonna pick it up after the pond, and so the animals won't have access to the pond, you know. And we could, because it's downhill, we could siphon water, gravity fed to a water trough from the pond, but we have so much water. Like I say, the water that we actually own down here is well water, you know, because it's a small town, and they got a well somewhere and they just ran pipes through the town. And so we're fun. We don't have a well on our property, but the water that we have on our property is well water. Yeah. But yeah, so we're coming up on our property line on this side now.
Yeah, it wasn't really in our original plan to go all the way to the property line with the fencing. We're just gonna stop here and fence off the pastures. But I'm so glad that we did now. So we have the potential to fence off this area, and now we have fencing going all the way down the property line. So that piece of our property, you know, like, that's done. You know, that's established. This is our property line.
That's right. Yeah, I'm super glad we did it too. Like they say, good fences make good neighbors. So we want to be good neighbors.
Yeah, we don't want
our neighbors to be good neighbors.
We don't want our animals, like, and that's why I'm saying, like, it was an important piece, even though it wasn't in our original plan. The Lord knew, because like now, if our animals get out, like, they're going to be on our property. You know, like, if one of the little baby ram lambs goes under the gate, right, you know, they're going to be on our property.
We won't have anybody else calling us like, your animals out. It'll just be like the boys would be like, hey, one of the rams out. We just open the gate up and put them back in.
And that's like revolutionary, I think, to have like solid fencing all the way along our property lines.
So right here is the corner H brace that we have. And like I say, the H braces that I put in, they didn't move. They didn't budge at all. The only poles that moved were if I had a fence that was canceling out or completing, and it didn't have an H brace, you know, at that very end point. Because we stretched so far and we used such big poles that we didn't want to put an H brace every 70 feet, you know. And so we put an H brace on the ends, and then just one singular pole like every 70 feet, and then T-post every 10 feet in between that. And where I messed up at is I didn't think about it, but on the front, you know, we have those breaks with farm gates. And as you see, there's an H brace there. But if you look on this side, there's not an H brace there. And I kind of got, you know, misconstrued on where I needed H braces at and farm gates and stuff like that. But we can come back and fix that later on down the line. Like I said, if I get dissatisfied with where some of the fences loose at. But you can see here, this is the back line of the paddocks, the pastures, the 2-3 acre pastures, and that's also our property line. And then we also did this fencing here, and I hadn't got all this fence here attached to the, it's tight though, I hadn't got all that fence there attached to the T-post. But my primary thing was, you know, working on our animal paddocks. So we still have to come in and attach this fence here to the T-post, but it's nice and tight. It didn't budge, didn't move. Yeah, so it's a super exciting day for us, y'all. We're looking forward to it. I can't wait to see, you know, what the sheep do once they get out on all this grass, because we don't have our cross fencing set up yet. And so they're just gonna have the whole 3 acres to roam, and we only have 5 sheep, you know. And hopefully Boaz will calm down a little bit. He's been kind of mad at Megan for locking him up because
mad at the world, mad at everybody, mad at you, anybody he sees.
He got Megan the other day because I told her, I said Boaz is a little bit grumpy right now because I locked him up because you know, we had the little ram lamb, the little baby, and it was kind of dangerous for the little baby to be around him in that small confined space. And so we locked up Boaz, and he didn't like that. You know, we took him away from his ladies. You know, he saw that as a threat, and so he started butting all the doors, breaking stuff loose. And I told Megan, I said, watch it when you go in there with him now. And she messed around and turned her back to him yesterday, and he got her. He didn't get her all the way. He showed a little bit of mercy on her because he could have butted a whole lot harder, but he got her. So
I just fed him, and I looked at him, and he was eating, and like for a second I turned my back to unlatch a door, and he was there, like in like less than a second. He was like behind me.
On the farm, you never turn your back to an intact male animal. Now the ones who you've castrated or banded, you know, and took their testicles away from them, you don't have to worry about those. They don't have the same, you know, fire in them. But the ones that still are intact, you know, you have to watch them because, you know, they're territorial, you know, just like any man should be. You know, any man is territorial, you know, whether we say it or not. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, so I guess we've shown y'all enough of the fence, so it's time to get some sheep on these pastures. What y'all think? Y'all ready?
Thinking places where you spend your time. Ain't no place I'd rather go. You're a funny little critter and I love you so. And I wanna take a ride in the wheelbarrow in your mind. I come and sit down with me in a rocking chair. The coffee pot is nice and hot. We can sit in our underwear. Tell me about the dreams you had last week. Swimming all around with the fish in the sea. Come sit down with me in a rocking chair. A couple of days or even just an afternoon. They be looking up and we'll be looking down. We can wave to the people in my hometown now. Come on, baby, let's fly up to the moon. And I wanna take a ride in the wheelbarrow in your mind. Take me all around to the thinking places where you spend your time. Ain't no place I'd rather go. You're a funny little critter and I love you so. And I wanna take a ride in the wheelbarrow in your mind. Yeah, I wanna take a ride in the wheelbarrow in your mind.
All right, y'all, so we got those sheep on pasture. You know, it wasn't too hard. Once we figured out that Naomi didn't want to leave the pen down here because of her baby, even though she saw her baby in my hands, you know, she wanted that baby to be on the ground walking beside her. You know,
nesting instinct.
Yeah, for real.
She didn't want to go too far, do too much.
That's right.
Just having had a baby. When was that? Day before yesterday.
Yeah, day before yesterday.
2 days ago.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's right. But we're headed down here now to get Boaz because they need some instruction in there. They need need a leader in there because they're just running around, don't know what to do, trying to get back to the old pastures. But when Boaz gets in there, he's gonna kind of bring some stability, to the herd. Yeah, he will. And they have enough room now to where he shouldn't butt anybody too much, and he'll be happy, because Boaz, that's our little buddy, So we want to get him out on pasture as well. We're not gonna leave him in here, in the pig pen, because this originally we built this 4,000 square foot fencing section here for pigs. Farrow in the farrowing barn, put pigs in corrals, and then let them, roam free out here until we put them out on pasture. So this is really just for farrowing down here, for pigs. So we're gonna get Boaz out and get him on pasture with everybody else. Come on, Pete. Yeah, man. What's up, Susie? Big mama? We'll come down here and feed y'all soon.
At least they're up and running around. Look at them. Slim and trim.
Oh, yeah. They lost about, as I said on the video, they lost about 0.11 pounds or something. But now they're actually slamming up, though.
They have slammed up.
Getting them trained up.
Their bellies are no longer touching the ground. Look at that. Look at that.
That's the I.A.G Slim Fast.
Slim Fast.
Yeah. I.A.G Slim Fast. In other words, so if you have American guinea hogs, let me teach you something real quick. You do not feed guinea hogs corn. Like, it gets them too fat. They can't breed. Even if you want them to get big real fast and give them to 500 pounds, because you can't get a guinea hog to 500 pounds if you feed them corn, but it's just going to be fat.
Straight lard.
Straight lard. You're not going to have any meat. You're going to have so much fat around it and throughout it. Like, these are lard type hogs, but they have good meat. So you have to keep them lean.
That's right.
But they're not going to let us talk, so let me... The Susies are grumpy. Big mama. Boaz. Look at on about it.
Oh, man.
Let's get about this pig pen. The prodigal son. What?
Ooh, wait. Ooh,
You
wait.
had to like
Ooh,
put
wait.
that.
Okay, what do we need to do?
Oh, man. That's just normal. That's normal. Hey, get this out the way. That was how I was keeping him from breaking out.
Noah's gone.
That's scared.
He's
running.
gone.
Look, he running.
He already ran out. That's
Put the camera on. Put the camera on Noah. Put the camera on Noah.
Noah's gone.
Go find Noah. Go.
Listen, I wanted to do what Noah did. I know. Noah knows better. He's not gonna get Buddy. Isn't that right? No, Noah saw Boaz but me. You're not gonna get Buddy, are you? Uh-oh. You're not gonna get Buddy, are you?
No.
Where were you going? Where were you going? Where were you going?
I did too.
Oh, okay. It's like Bigfoot. Okay. All right, no.
I need to know. I need to know.
Noah said he sounded like Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, for real.
It's a children's story. The Billy Goat Gruff.
I'm gonna let him butt one more time. That wasn't a real one. So he won't kiss my finger when I'm over there.
Actually, I wanna.
What's up, buddy? My man. Dogs, get. No. Get.
You can see his horns are grown.
Oh, yeah. Got to take mama out the other day. Get in. No. I don't need your help. Boaz is all right. We have a special relationship.
So you won't be in the stall.
Right. I don't blame him. Listen, I get like that sometimes too.
Okay.
Around my house.
No, you do not. You do not. You do not. That is not true. Don't let him say that. That is not true.
Alright, y'all, I'm gonna lead them. Y'all can get in. No.
Open up the heavens. Come rain down your presence. Jesus, come. Inhabit the praise of the sinner and saint. Jesus, come. And Jesus, move. Here and now, we call on you, Lord, come and meet us today. Here and now, have your way. Open up the heavens, come rain down your presence. We know there's more, so much more. Here and now, we call on you, Lord, come and meet us today. Here and now, have your way. Open up the heavens, come rain down.
So we got all our sheep on pasture. What do you think?
Oh yeah, it's amazing. It's been a long time coming, and it feels good to be able to watch them eating grass, even though they're just in one little section. It's something about this section that they like.
It's close to.
Yeah, it's close to what they're used to, because they actually were trying to get back to like the pasture that, you know, the paddock at least. They didn't have any grass or anything because that's where they were comfortable at. And that's a whole lesson in that, you know. Sometimes you have to get outside of your comfort zone in order to move on to greener pastures, you know. And I can preach a whole sermon on that one right there, for real. Because, yeah, man, it's just amazing though, you know, because we need to be content with the things that we have, but we don't need to be comfortable. You know, it's a difference between contentment with whether I have a lot or a little, and I'm content because I know that God has me there, than being comfortable and I'm in a place, because you might be in a good place that God is calling you to leave, but a lot of times you're in a bad place and God is calling you to leave that bad place to get into a better place. And sometimes in those bad places, we've been there so long, you know, there's no nourishment, there's no grass, there's no water, you know, but we've been there so long that we don't want to leave, you know. And sometimes the Lord is calling us to leave those places, to forsake those things, and to, like, by faith, you know, go into something greater. Just think about Abraham. Abraham was in his father's house, you know, under his father's protection and provision and everything. But the Lord called Abraham to leave his father's house, you know, and to go out into the land of Canaan. Now think about this, the land of Canaan at the time, which is now the promised land. It was full of giants, it was full of pagans, it was full of idolatry, it was full of like just all type of ungodly things. But the Lord called Abraham to go there by faith. And it ended up being a land, you know, it was actually flowing milk and honey then, but it ended up being a land of promise, you know, a land where his descendants and his legacy was built, you know. And yeah, that's what this reminds me of, with the sheep not wanting to leave, you know, that pen with no grass. And when they got here, they were uncomfortable, so they wanted to run back. And how often do we do that, you know, like as people? Do we run back to what's comfortable, even if it's not better, but it's more comfortable, so we run back? But I just encourage us all, myself included, like, if the Lord is calling you to leave what's comfortable, to go by faith into an area that you don't know anything about, into a situation that you don't know anything about, you don't know the outcome, do it. Like, obey him quickly, because he'll surprise you sometimes. You know, we left our house in the city 6 months ago, moved down here with an unfinished camper, with no idea of what the Lord was going to do. We sold all of our properties in the city and gave away the rest of them that we didn't sell. And we moved down here to this raw, vacant land, you know, by faith. And the Lord is just doing amazing things now. But we didn't know those things 6 months ago. You know, we didn't know that we were going to be able to find a mobile home. We thought we were going to build our home from scratch. You know, we thought we were going to live in the camper for 2 years and build our home like completely, put septic in, water lines, foundation, everything ourselves. And but the Lord had another plan. You know, he had another plan. But we had to take that leap by faith though to get here. And it's amazing. And these pastures are going to be used. Like, just look at this. Like these sheep have endless forage. They haven't even like experienced like anywhere near the fullness of what they have. And it's the same for you all. It's the same for us. We have nowhere near experienced the fullness of what the Lord has prepared for us. We just experienced a small little window, a small little section. But the Lord has so much more for us, so many amazing things. But we had to walk by faith and not by sight. You know, just like these sheep, they didn't know where they were going when they were leaving that pen. They were just following. They had to follow the master. They had to follow the shepherd, you know. Just like we had to follow the shepherd, you know. And any good shepherd is going to lead you to greener pastures. And that's what the Lord is doing. So, yeah. Boys, what y'all think?
Good. They have so much all the way to the top of the property.
That's right.
Look at that one trying to get that hat and crash down.
What's up, Mama? Come boys.
Okay, that's not fun. What do you think? No.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
What's over there?
No. No, he's not.
Oh, okay.
He said Boaz was over there. No, Boaz is right there, man.
He's trying to trick me.
Nah,
He's trying to
No,
trick me.
He's scared.
the authority.
Oh, okay.
All right, Mama. We hadn't heard your thoughts. What are your thoughts?
And I just think it's wonderful because this is a long time coming, and we've had to look at our sheep, you know, in a pasture, in a pen with no grass, and feed them hay. When we had so much grass, you know, and it's kind of like pained us, I think, to see grass but not be able to put our sheep on grass. And so this is a joyous day because now all the grass that our land provides is accessible and available to our sheep, and that's huge and that's extremely important to us. And I think we can call ourselves good shepherds.
That's right. Yep.
I think you can call yourself a good shepherd today.
There's none good but one, and that's Jesus. For real. But I know what you're saying. I just had to throw that in there. For real.
He gets all the glory.
Yeah, but we're physical shepherds, you know, like stewards of what the Lord is doing.
Right.
So I definitely understand.
Our goal is to be like him. You know, we can't be him, you know, but he wants us to be like him. So he puts the desire in us to provide well for our animals, you know, and to be kind to other people. So it's like we're just emulating him.
That's right, because the Bible does call us sheep, and these sheep are a representation of us, and we as the shepherds are a representation of God. So we're leading them to greener pastures, and we prepared a place for them, and it's gonna be amazing. I love it. All right, y'all, fun times, but we think that's enough for today's video, so we're gonna go ahead and end it here. It's I.A.G Farms.
It's all about God.
We'll see y'all on the next one.
Little by little, piece by piece, I take back what's been stolen from me. Little by little, piece by piece, until I'm complete.